I'm FNGR, and here we are. Mumkey Jones's statement. Now, some of you guys with lives likely missed the important part of the video because it's buried 40 minutes in. I want to be upfront with you guys. When I went into this situation with Mumkey Jones and one Lou the Kitty, it would have made my day, my week, my month, my year to have found out that Mumkey Jones knew about Lou's involvement with the 15-year-old. But every piece of evidence, every piece of testimony, at least so far as I found, suggested otherwise. Past tense. Now, I'm not shy against trying to give interpretations, be creative on occasion, but there was nothing here, again, past tense. Till now, Mumkey Jones, who would have thought that after all that digging, you would have just dropped everything I needed right in front of me, as bright as the day, as black as the night.
Or just because my brain has been altered completely. My dad told me on the drive here that I seem like a different person. He felt like my personality was different. And that seemed really strange to me. But I've also been having trouble just with my memory of remembering things that I've done in the past.
Stop me on this one. Does this remind you of anyone?
So how many people knew you were being a Jagoff, Toon? If you're really sorry, you'll tell us.
I honestly can't remember. Because for me it's been so long that I don't remember half of the things from then.
You ever notice terrible people when it comes to memory and screwing up, it's all a blur. Yeah, it's a fog, it's a blank. It's convenient. I'm not even expecting anyone to remember everything. But whenever you try to nail down someone awful to something terrible that they've done and you hear blur, you're getting jerked around.
As far back as really anything before like 2013, like really my early college years and all of high school and all of that, I'm really having trouble remembering.
Once again, let's see if this feels familiar. This is from Y2K Toon Kritic, a pedophile, when he was asked if he felt sorry about his misbehavior. He couldn't remember all the way back to, well, let's give it a listen.
Crescendo.
I'm sorry, who?
Brie Lizzie T. Because I remember asking you about that, and when every time it became, oh, she feels like that, what the fuck ever. So that's the one that's fucking stuck in my craw. That was the very fucking first time I think we came to you with a serious thing. And every time you fucked up about that, I remember thinking, because I remember turning to whoever I was talking to at the time, who I do remember, but I'm going to have enough coolness not to fucking mention it and be like, look, I don't want to bury somebody being accused of rape or whatever. So, but, you know, I'd like to keep an eye on this. And I kept bringing that up every time. You don't even remember.
Now I do. As it took me a second. It's actually hard for me to remember a lot of the names. Because it's gotten to the point where most of it just doesn't feel like it was like somebody else's life at this point. Because I don't remember most of it. But I do remember that. I think I moved too fast with her and I did something stupid. As I did back then with a lot of things. And that was on me.
You know what's funny? I can tell every time where I've shit the bed in a relationship, and if you had grabbed something, the only way I can see someone not remembering is that you've done it so many times that it's a blur. Yeah?
It is a blur to me.
So with all that being said, when I was proven to be a scumbag who hurt people, did bad things, the people who loved and cared about me were still there for me. Not because they support what I did. Nobody supports the bad things that people do.
Hi. That's objectively not true. We need go no further than Sargon of Akkad's run for office. That there were people at least in the thousands who supported his candidacy no matter how small that support was.
I look forward to them developing truly dank memes that will trigger lefty lobbies.
His key platform, his main point, his tentpole issue, the thing that he was going to wow the voter base with, the association he was going to ingrain in their memory when they thought of UKIP, was one simple word: rape.
Go ahead.
Why you think it is acceptable to say on Twitter that you wouldn't even rape a female Labour
Oh, because I don't think women are any different to men in the way we should treat them. Unlike the established, literally say if you were a man, I would send you to jail. And that means if a woman is being a giant bitch and laughing at male suicide, I'm going to be a giant dick back to her. Any questions?
There's still about 20 some odd people who still support Kirill the Wolf on Patreon. Do you know what he did to animals? I would argue that the ones that are left now, after everyone else leaving, are the ones who are more than down in what he's into. I know what you're thinking, you and the audience. FNGR, you're stretching it. So what if Mumkeyjones cheated on Sheepover? That's his ex that he was moved in with previously. Who cares? And you'd be right. But there are people who support terrible behavior, and I promise you, we'll get there.
But it's the love you feel for those people is what propels you to want to help them redeem themselves. You want them to be better people because you care about them, and maybe you know that this isn't who they are.
Or maybe you really want or need something from that person. I mentioned Y2K Toon Kritic, a man who only ever got away with hellish bullshit for as long as he did because everyone else felt that they could get something out of it. That's a fact. And like those people, Mumkeyjones, you want something out of Lou, don't you?
And that they're a great person who made mistakes, and you need to give them all the love you can to help them feel better, to be better, to fix their mistakes. And so many people did that for me, and frankly, I refuse to not be there for the people who I love, even when they make mistakes. Which is why Lou the kitty, this girl who now everybody is doing a lynch mob against and they all hate her, I don't hate her at all. And in fact, I still love her just as much as I did when I was cheating on Sheepover with her. And it's true, I did not know about her prior relationships while she and I were together, and I was very upset to learn about them and disgusted, and for a short time I did feel hatred for her for some of the things she had done and said, even about me, things that I didn't even think were all that true or relevant for anybody else to know. But while she was in the hospital, she called me a lot, and I just felt like I needed to help her.
So let me get this straight. At Lou's lowest point, when no one else would talk to her, she saw you, and her giving you the chance to listen to her is how she proved herself. In my experience in the Brony fandom, in the furry fandom, and hell, even watching internet blood sports, it seems to me as people feel pushed down the social ladder, they have to settle for a less and less tier of friends. In the Brony fandom, you need to look no further than, say, Toon Kritic or, say, Fallen Wish, and I do mention those in relatively the same breath, even though their acts are different enough. Their social graces or their social standing is at the bottom rung. That I assure you, the friends that they have now are not their first draft picks, or second or third. In the furry fandom, there's Kirill the Wolf and Foxler. For example, here's Kirill the Wolf back in the day when he used to hang out with Mahara Strawberry, and this big giant YouTuber, I forget his name, I'll have it up here on screen. Now, he has to hang out with whoever will stomach him now, and what he's into. In internet blood sports, you can listen to Eve and Ralph whine and talk about how Mr. Metokur won't come on stream with him anymore, and he has to settle for people like Gator or Flamenco. In your case, Monkey, here's you trying to get back with your boy Asperger. That's weird, isn't it? You talked up Lou, cause she had your back through thick and thin, but here you are trying to get back to your old crew, the crew that didn't have your back. So here is where I'm gonna get my thesis statement from Mr. Meatman's video.
Essentially paid Lou to come down to North Carolina, where he lived. And he fucked her in his and his girlfriend's house, on his and his girlfriend's bed. Oof! Big oof! Another thing I forgot to add also is that Tyler didn't like condoms.
You know what he said? You know what he said to me?
What?
he didn't want to use condoms with me because he said he didn't like them. And
So Tyler fucked Lou raw. After Lou left North Carolina, around 2 to 3 days of getting some Mumkey Jones action, Lou went back home to New York, though began to get worried about her life choices. Specifically, that she fucked Mumkey Jones, Tyler Millard, without a condom.
And I got really worried, and I messaged him. I think this was like after the breakup. I was like, I hope I'm not pregnant. And he was like, if you're pregnant, you can't leave me.
After?
Yeah, because I just came back from North Carolina.
She told Tyler that she was worried she would get pregnant. 'Cause, you know, that might happen when you have unprotected sex. And within this conversation, he messaged her very creepy things.
I was like worried. I was like, I hope I'm not pregnant. And he was like, if you're pregnant, you can't leave me. And I was like, damn.
No, like
I guess.
after the breakup, or?
After, because I broke up with him right after when I was on the train. Like, he would constantly say things like, oh, I wonder what our baby would look like. It would look so cute. He would say, like, oh, I want to marry you. But then he would flip-flop. He was like, oh, if you get pregnant, I'll kill myself. I'm like, alright. He was really flip-floppy.
Oh my god! Clearly, there's something mentally wrong with this man.
This is just me freestyling. This is just FNGR's Tism Storm. This is just my hot take, which wouldn't make a lot of sense before because Mumkeyjones didn't know about Lou's quote-unquote special interests. Whether you want to call those mental defects or kinks, it would have been impossible till now to say that Mumkeyjones willingly engaged in the potential harm of a future child's well-being. Not just any future child, but his future child. Mumkey, for the record, if you do have a kid with Lou, and anything sexual happens down the road, I will do everything I can to publicly remind people this was a foreseeable consequence by you. I know the term enabler is thrown around all willy-nilly, but in the past, you have fetishized knocking up Lou, and now that you're back with her, and now that you know that she's into kids, and I highly doubt that you'd turn her in if you spotted her doing anything. But let's really consider Mumkeyjones' state of mind.
Pedophile groomer broke up with big famous YouTuber creepo Mumkeyjones, which isn't really how he implied in his big sad depression chamber video.
I think I saw a post where I think you said that you talked to sheep, like.
Yeah, okay, before the video came out, he already told her because he felt backed into a corner when I mentioned that already with OJ. And Sheep already messaged me, and we had a decent conversation. Like, she was really understanding, and I know she's really upset. And she was even happy that I was honest with her, because Tyler still fucking lied to her. He told her that he broke up with me, and he told her that he didn't tell her that he got me to go North Carolina.
Oh.
But I left Tyler after April, and I've been trying with OJ since.
So let's reiterate a little bit. On late April of 2019, pedo girl broke up with depression outcrier. It still doesn't end here, folks. There's still more! And we're almost in the end game, folks. But, I gotta Captain Marvel this by bringing in some context to give you guys an even fuller story, which is, like Captain Marvel, some lore you guys probably don't give a fuck about, but to me and the producers at Disney, brings to us a smile.
Mumkeyjones went back to this. It would be embarrassing if Mumkeyjones picked up a goddamn phone if Lou called. After this video dropped from Mr. Meatman, it would be ill-advised if Mumkey just online dated Lou after all of this. Hell, it would be an exceptionally poor idea if he planned it to visit Lou every couple of months. He moved in with this crazy bitch and is now engaged. Did you notice this? Kind of reminds me of Flufflepuff and Bayfish, where one side is completely willing to showcase this to the world and the other side is who's willing to play it close to the vest. Hiding it. We did it 40 minutes into this 50-minute video.
Just felt like I needed to help her feel better. And that's the feeling. when you really love and care about somebody, no matter how bad they fuck up, you will still want to help them get better. And I know she's not a bad person. I know she's one of the nicest, sweetest people. So I still want to pursue a relationship with her and see if we can make each other happy.
Let me pitch an alternative hypothesis, Mumkey. I think you think, or in this case, you know that there was no new girlfriend coming after this, after how bad you fucked up with Sheep over.
And just focus on real life and not on the internet. So I know this is probably what's going to make most people upset with me. And most people will probably want to stop watching my content because of it. And I understand. Like I said earlier, I understand every reaction. It's fine. It's fine if everybody hates me, because I now have a baby kitten that makes me so happy. I have a girl that makes me so happy. I am independent. I have my own house. I have my own car. A year ago, I might have been living my best life. But now it's really on me to decide whether or not I can live my best life again. It won't be...
Let's have a moment here. Your girlfriend legit slept with a 15-year-old in real life, as in body to body on several occasions.
At the end of it all, both Lou and Dylan consented to sexual intercourse multiple times between the dates of January 17th and January 23rd. At this point, I'm unaware of how or who found out about the situation first, whether it was Dylan's family or Lou's family. I'm also not sure who opened the investigation, but an investigation was opened regardless in the state of Alabama.
This is in a video defending Lou, where this is documented. I'm saying that again. I may be online, Mumkey, but for better or for worse, your information is out there. Even without Lou's special interest, you would be a terrible dad. I think that you're thinking with your little Mumkey and not your head. And you know the best part, Mumkey? I technically don't have to do anything. You literally have the world's biggest handicap. Lou can't shut up. She's talked to me several times and Mr. Meatman at least once. Someday, she'll screw up and tell everyone and it'll all get out. In fact, here's a free sample of things to come. Here's a screenshot from Dylan, the very same 15-year-old, saying that Lou considered getting back together with him. This dropped Monday. When you said you'll not be responding, you're right not to. You have no defense. Isn't a commentator alive who could make you one? There isn't a narrative out there where you would look good. There is an out, though. You could come to your senses. You could take a good hard look at your life and put some distance between this and you.
What would be a perfect life for myself? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus wholeheartedly every day of my existence on the things that make me happy. And one of those things is doing this internet stuff.
Now, there is something to be said for pursuing what makes you happy. Fuck. I love this internet stuff too. But your way of addressing your faults and improving your life is to move in with a sex offender. I don't even need a follow-up.
The internet are saying about me anymore at all. It's really great. I think apathy is the answer to how social media's destruction of our generation. If you've listened to these SOTY podcasts at all, we've often come to the conclusion that social media is destroying the fabric of society and that children shouldn't even be allowed on it.
Did you listen to any of that? Not allowing children on it. You're engaged to the worst thing online, Mumkey, and you intend to have a kid. And in the same breath, you're talking about apathy being the answer. This man intends to have kids, and his philosophy is apathy. Holy fuck. Before we get going, I have some more quick hits and hot takes earlier in the video.
But they're not an excuse. I have been very much misrepresented by some people out there. I have never, ever excused my behavior with mental illness or being in a dark place. Never. There's a difference between a motive and an excuse.
That's true. I want to keep this in mind. Before Mumkey Jones doesn't have any excuses for his behavior. He's just going to joke about it and hope that the humor will carry him. And let's be fair to Mumkey. He is a funnier guy than I. If you make people laugh, they will let you get away with far more. But I also want you to know that the comedy he is selling it's funny because it's true. See this $2,200 Patreon. It could stand to be lower. If you feel that I have a point in this video, hit upvote so that there's a chance this video will have a chance of being in the recommended videos and reach Mumkey Jones's fans. And they can see what they're buying into.
Did I do things because of the way I felt? Yes, that's what being a human is. But do I take responsibility for those actions? Of course I do. I might be a cheater, I might be a liar, I might be, to some, a manipulator, but I'm definitely not one to blame my personal choices and actions on depression or suicide.
Dear Monkey, this is not about your depression, this is not about your suicide, or if you're cheap and easy. I don't care if you have a harem monkey. Again, Pro Jared over here threw out a bunch of lesser offenses, waiting for about 40 minutes in before he got to the meat and potatoes.
I know there are lots of people out there who now hate me and think that I am a disgusting, horrible person. And about even up to a week ago, I completely agreed with you. I don't think I'm that great of a person either. Never pretended to be. I've always been an edgy comedian and entertainer on the internet. Why you would expect that person to have the virtue of...
This was a cold, calculated move. Like, don't get me wrong. Do YouTube fans expect a little too much from people? If you're Mumkey Jones's fans, I get it. In spite of overwhelming evidence, I'm still kinda sort of a fan of Boogie0928. And you know what? Let's get right to what's in my craw. You know what, Mumkey? You want me to leave you alone? Get your tubes tied. Put up a medical record that you got a vasectomy where we know that you can't have kids. And this can all be over. Or preferably have Lou have the female equivalent. Until then, thank you, fuck you, bye.